Welcome back to Combat Sports Weekly. We're missing Micah. Where the heck is he? Nonetheless, we still got the roundtable. Let's get it going. Introducing first, as always, sitting next to me. It's become comfortable having you here to protect me. You're a much bigger man than I am, Ed Nunez.
I appreciate that.
Welcome to the show. When can people catch you on 610?
On the mic with Mike Adams, Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Yeah, screen right, James Lindemuth, also of 610. Rocking the shirt, I like that.
Yeah, you like the logo?
Showing the station some love. When can people catch you on the station?
It's going to be every Thursday at 5:15 is when we do our weekly MMA and boxing.
Yeah, we got a little more freedom, one less guy here on the round table, so let's get it started, guys. Big surprise, we were all dead wrong on our prediction last week. We all went 0 for 4 on the Stephen Thompson versus Johnny Hendericks fight. Ed, I don't even know what to say. That was just unbelievable striking display.
Well, let's look at the way Thompson took him out. Okay, so Big Rig has been in with Condit, he's been in with Lawler, and some George St. Pierre, and nobody's ever done that. So what does that say about Thompson's? Again, Hendricks before the fight started said he wasn't worried about the striking ability of Stevie Wonderboy Thompson, and as it turned out, he should have been worried because look at the way he dispatched him. So you ask what's next, and I think he's won 6 fights straight. 33 years old, he's right in the prime of his career right now. I think a match against Robbie Lawler looks, pretty good at UFC, maybe UFC 200.
I definitely hope so. James, I went into this fight with my prediction thinking Stephen Thompson, a poor man's Carlos Condit. And Carlos Condit didn't implement this type of striking against Johnny Hendericks.
No, and that was the really amazing thing about it is the way that he was able to win. If anybody had predicted that he was going to win this fight, I think they would have said it would have been by decision or by use of the ground game. But no one saw this kind of knockout coming. But what's next is if Condit doesn't get Lawler, then I think Thompson should. I think he's ready. I think he's ready for a shot.
Potential. Does he win a UFC title within the next year and a half? Stephen Thompson?
That's the way, again, the way he knocked out Hendricks, or the way, the people are going to Wonderboy. 6 straight, though. 6 straight. And, they kind of question you can't question his victory against Johnny Hendericks. He's a tough guy, man.
Right.
They don't call him Big Rig for nothing. So I think, but it goes against Lawler. I'm not going to say yes or no because Robbie Lawler is one tough customer. Sure is.
Exactly. Ed, what do you think, James?
Well, and I don't see him winning a title in the next year, no, because I honestly do see a Lawler-Condit rematch. I really think that fight does happen at some point. I know Carlos has said that if it's not that fight, then it's done. But I think that fight will happen. So I think the timetable lays out for Thompson, but just not this year.
Now the fight I'm drooling over is this guy, Wonderboy Thompson, against Rory McDonald. I don't know why
those two would get in.
Just unbelievable.
Just bang.
Yeah, we'll move on to the very next topic. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Boxing Writers Association of America, Fighter of the Year. What are your thoughts, James? Did he deserve it?
No. No, absolutely not. I think that the only reason, if you say they're sitting in their boardroom and they're discussing who they're going to name Fighter of the Year, the only way you give it to Floyd is if you're 100% certain he's retiring, and then I guess I could see it. You give it to him based on the body of his resume, not just the year. But no, he doesn't deserve it. I mean, it's Triple G, it's Wilder, it's any number of other fighters should have gotten.
He did have a fight against Manny Pacquiao, okay? This fight came 3 years too late, but then he fought Andre Berto, out of all people. Ed, what are your thoughts? Who should have won it?
Well, we mentioned Triple G, maybe Terrence Crawford. So there's some other fighters I thought were more deserving.
Even Canelo is another guy.
Alvarez, look, we mentioned this dude. He's one of the most polarizing figures in boxing history ever. I can't stand a guy, but I'll say that he's a great defensive fighter. I'm not going to tell you he's not great. He is. There's so many things that can be written and said. Floyd Mayweather thinks he deserves it. I guarantee that. And is he finished? No, I still think he's going to come out and fight Triple G sometime, somewhere. I really believe that.
I still think it have been Adonis Creed. I'm going to stick in with that.
That was a good movie.
I'm sticking with that one.
Creed was a heck of a movie. We move on to the local action, and we'll leave this as the last topic. Nick Urso versus Jordan Espinosa. I know you probably announced both of these guys' fights when you were doing some ring announcing, and obviously you still do that. But Nick Urso, a guy out of Jackson's MMA. Jordan Espinosa, a guy that's bounced around camps here locally and in the Midwest, but he's a West
Florida,
Mesa guy.
He's
he's the local guy. What do you think about this contest between these two guys? Huge fight taking place Saturday night.
Potential for the best local fight that we're going to see, in the entire year, at least in my opinion. I'm a big Jordan Espinosa fan. I just like the way that he carries himself, and that's not a knock on Nick Urso by any means, but Jordan's just one of those guys that's very charismatic, and you just want to see him succeed. So I'd like to see Jordan perform well, but this is one of those ones where I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, Jordan Espinosa, obviously, the biggest fight that he's been in is a fight against Rafael Barata Freitas, who was undefeated.
Right.
And Nick Urso, his biggest fight, I guess you could say, was actually a loss to Ray Borg, who was recently just ranked one of the top 15 flyweights in the UFC in the world. Ed, what do you think about this local matchup?
Well, Nick Urso knocked out or decisioned Joshua Montoya, and so after that, Espinosa has been calling him out on Facebook, on comparing records and really talking a lot of trash. Both fighters need a victory to move up to that next level, and again, the fight card and revenue things have been down. I think it's a good fight for locally. I really do. Now, I'm going to say Nick Urso, but just by the very slightest of margins and just as a feel, because I think James is right. It's a very even match.
This is the third straight time that the Jackson series has been up at Buffalo Thunder. I wonder if they plan on a return to Albuquerque based on what you were saying.
It's tough to sell a ticket in Albuquerque is what it seems like, because boxing is also moving away from the metropolitan area.
It's a shame.
Yeah,
man. I hate to see that. Yeah.
The fight between these two guys, I think one of two scenarios is going to happen. This fight is either going to end early and it's going to be Jordan Espinosa's wrestling that controls the fight. Okay. If it goes to a decision, I think Nick Urso is going to get a nod just because he's fought up there before by split decision. Okay. You mentioned the trash talking. We'll end on this. What did you think about him calling out Urso on the way he did on Facebook, comparing the two stats?
Well, it wasn't very favorable towards Urso. And he had wanted Nick Urso. He's wanted him for a year. It's a year ago that Urso beat Joshua Montoya.
He's been
so here's your chance. Here's your chance.
Yeah.
Talk is cheap. You got to get the job done inside the cage. So let's see what he's got.
Ultimately, it's put up or shut up for Jordan Espinosa after putting himself out there like that.
At this point, it certainly is, but I think I think he does it. I really, really do. I think he'll pull this one out.
Yeah, very close one. If I'm going to go down on record, I think this is a tough one because this is a very close contest.
Well, and especially after we all bombed last week.
Right, we all bombed this week. We're all going to I'm going Jordan Espinosa by stoppage in the second round. That'll do it. Make sure you guys go check out the fight at Buffalo Thunder. We'll see you next week.